These trees here are called African oil palms. They're grown for the oil that the small little seed up there provides. And
actually, there are two types of oil.
There are two types. I'm going to just go ahead and let the expert explain.
No, face it that way. That way.
Okay, I'll face it right now.
Go out that way and face it forward, and I'll drive very slowly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the problem is, the problem is that we won't get enough voice. You got to speak very loud.
You can't put over there on top of the mirror?
I'll get too much wind.
Oh.
So the mic's over here, so go ahead and speak. Okay. Very loud.
Actually, there are two types of oil. One comes out of the fleshy part around the seed. It's orange. It's used for cosmetics, cooking, floor waxes, even soap. You've heard of palm olive soap? Well, you have an oil palm, an oil from a palm in that, and this is where it's coming from. Then the other type of oil is coming from inside the seed itself. The seed is about the size of a marble, and inside the brown seed is a coating of white meat. Looks very much like a coconut, and that oil the oil squeezed from that, I have been told, is a very, very fine quality, and it's used for airplane lubricant. The trees essentially are harvestable for about 17 years. 3 years prior, they are growing up from a seedling. At about the 3-year mark, then they begin to produce fruit. They will then continue to produce fruit for many, many years, but the reason they are then, the harvest stops at about 17 years after that, excuse me, is simply because the trees grow too tall and they can't be harvested. Since they're harvested by hand with a nasty looking knife at the end of a very, very long pole, it's all done by hand, so that the pole in effect does not reach any higher than that. So they end up killing the trees and starting the whole process all over again in their original positions, which is very cool. Because all this area used to have spheres in them, and then when the banana companies came in, they came in with huge bulldozers, and of course they ran into these big huge rocks, which are all spheres, and it was like, what is this thing doing in the middle of my field? Get it out of here. So they would remove all these spheres, and of course destroyed any archaeological significance of those things, because they had no idea how they were placed originally. So they have, the spheres may still be in existence, they're sitting around in different parks in the country, but they have no knowledge of their placement, their original placement. Which is kind of too bad.
That's too bad.
But there is a place back there with a new. And they had a whole bunch of archaeologists come down and dig it out, and they dug down several meters through layers and layers and
all the way. Remember coming here about 5-6 years ago. I guess it was longer than that. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. None of this used to be paved, so obviously the town is booming.